think I always harp upon the documentation. What we should maintain, because this is where 90% of the taxpayers fail in the country. So in the context of capital gains, what is it that we should store in our records? Now, somebody mentioned that everything is on computer now, you don't have a hard copy, this, that. I mean, that's beside the point. Whether it is a soft copy or whether it is a hard copy. Please maintain this in whatever format possible. You may need it sometime. As far as shares are concerned, the broker's contracts, both whether purchase or sale, if it is IPO, Mahanagar Gas, we can apply only through ASBA on the thing, but you will certainly get some kind of, email, SMS, whatever. SMS, of course, is difficult to say, but you will get an email, definitely. So keep the proof. If it is IPO, keep the proof that you have applied for the shares and you have got the allotment. In case of secondary market, keep the broker's contracts. Now you get electronic contracts, so there is no big deal in saving it. As far as any expenses that you wish to claim, like brokerage, lawyers' fees, practically in all immovable property deals, the broker, as soon as the deal is signed, you will pay him cash. 70 lakh deal, you pay him 70,000, he will go home happy. He's not paid tax on that. Be sure he will not pay tax on that. And insist before you start negotiations, before you start searching for a house, tell the broker, I will pay you brokerage, whatever you want, but I'll pay you check. Pay by check, take a receipt from him, because actually if he is a real honest guy and his turnover is reasonably high, you will need to pay service tax on that brokerage. But that's not your problem. You tell him that I will pay you by check only, pay by account pay check, and take a receipt from him, take a bill from him. The lawyer is drafting your agreement, or your CA is drafting your agreement, take an invoice from that lawyer or a CA, pay by check, keep that as a supporting. If you have, so earlier, there that cost of improvement. If you take a stand that, I have incurred certain cost of improvement, then obviously you need to keep proof of that. Now, for me, it is very easy to put it on a slide. You will say, I did the improvement 25 years back, now what to do? You will have to figure out something, that how to prove that you have spent a certain amount somehow or the other. Sale deeds for the property sold, purchase deed for the property purchase, etc. Obviously that is required. Deposit, you have a demat account, keep the demat statement. 99% of the people, when you get 1 month's demat, you tear the earlier months. We'll need to keep the entire 12 months, because in every month there could be a transaction, So the demat statement we need to keep. Passbook. Capital gains account scheme, if you have invested in the capital gains account, you need to save the passbook very, very securely. If you have borrowed money at interest, then obviously you will need to keep proof of that you have borrowed from someone, paid interest, etc. Fair market value, if that 1481, if you are going to substitute your cost with FMV as on 1481, you will need to get a valuation done by a government approved valuer, in which case you will need that valuation report. If you have taken a stand that I have inherited this property or somebody gifted it to me, you'll need to prove that. So you'll need that will, you will need that gift deed, etc. as proof that you have been gifted or willed that property. Couple of last slides now. It's all in the air. AIR, I have referred to this in the past, even when we spoke of TDS, annual information report. Today we are living in time when the government, whether it is UPA government or NDA government, doesn't make any difference. The government has all information about most of the financial transactions that happen in the country. So whether it is purchase or sale, they know that you have bought or sale. So ensure that that amount tallies with what you show in your computation. And lastly, advance tax. Don't forget that you have to pay advance tax, because from a property deal, generally there will be no TDS. Of course, now if it is more than 50 lakhs, the buyer has to deduct tax, but that is only 1%, and pay to the government. But if you have to pay 20% tax or whatever it is, that tax liability, you can't wait till the year gets over and then you have to file a return and that time pay tax. You have to pay advance tax throughout the year in 4 installments now, 15 June, September, December, March. So pay that. that unless you are a senior citizen without any business income, in that case, senior citizens do not have to pay advance tax. So that is the only category which is excluded from the requirement for paying paying advance tax. If you do not pay advance tax, as per the system, as per the 4 slabs, you might have to pay interest under Section 234C. So this is what I had to speak about capital gains.